I made some fish tacos last night, but they just ignored them and swam away.
Oh, yeah, it still sucks.
Hey, Alan.
I like it. Yeah.
And welcome back.
Rose get arthritis?
Huh?
Where did Axl Rose get his arthritis?
Oh, I know this one. It is knees.
Good. I like it. I like it. Welcome back, weekend.
Get stung by a bee.
Thanks for tuning in to
Bees.
another episode of the weekend from A to Z. This episode covers the weekend up to, I was going to say November, January the 25th, 2021. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at theweekenda2z@gmail.com. You can find us also on Facebook and Instagram at A to Z Weekend. Past that, anchor.fm/A to Z Weekend, where you will find all 11 locations for our podcast.
What up, guys?
I'm point, were we?
No, it's still 11.
It's always been 11.
This one was more at one point.
He's
It was
going
not.
11.
It was
Anyway, I'm
not.
just
Cranked it up, baby. I'm Alan.
JT.
Oh, did we get Justin already? I guess I'm Scott.
Yeah, I kicked it off, dude.
Justin goes
sorry.
first. Yeah.
We're stepping all over each other today. So I was. Hey, does anybody have the same? Alan, you mentioned that you were going to say November. Does anybody have the? Hey, last year I had this thing happen, and it wasn't last year; it was 2 years ago. But COVID year, I don't know if we just extract that because I don't know.
I'd like to extract last year.
Time has no meaning anymore. It is all just truly a concept of our own imaginations. Other than in the time in the scientific sense, if you need it for formulas, but as far as perception of time, yeah, it chucked that shit right out the window.
Stardate 1.25. Yeah.
There was someone posted something. I can't remember, and it was like, I can't believe this was 5 years ago, and it was like when they took a trip or something. I was like, I would have sworn that was like 18 months ago.
Right.
Like, I don't know, I've talked to you and seen you since then, but I guess it's been that much longer.
Yeah.
Time has no meaning anymore. It's also very strange because of like social media and stuff. So it's like, I can see that you had a badass nap the other day. You posted all about it, but I haven't seen you in 20 years. It's some weird shit to know.
Yeah. So let's see some tech news. YouTube finally enables HDR support for Xbox consoles. HDR support. If you have an HDR TV, you might notice a difference, or you may not. It's HDR is it's a slight difference. I see a difference, but the
it also depends on screen size. So like on your phone,
to the uninitiated. Well, this is for Xbox consoles, so you're playing on your TV or a
gotcha.
flat screen monitor of some sort, which most of them nowadays are 4K, I assume. But to the uninitiated, you will not see a difference. Colors are a little bit richer and there's deeper shadows. But also, Microsoft. So this is a funny story. Microsoft announced an increase to its Xbox Live Gold program and very quickly took it back, like within hours. They were going to double the price. So Xbox Live Gold is what you have to have in order to play any game online. Even if it's a free game, you have to have Xbox Live, the subscription, in order to play. Now, the subscription you can pay in like 3 month, 6 month, or 24-month increments. Every now and then you can find like a 48. But currently, a year subscription is $60, and they were going to hike the price up to $120. Just double the price, just because.
Out of nowhere?
I mean, I guess because they're throwing in. So they also have Xbox Live. They also have Xbox Game Pass, which offers a backlog catalog of, I mean, I want to say it's like close to 300 plus games, probably more than that. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but hundreds of games that are on Xbox, all the way back to the original Xbox, that you can just pick up anytime and play. Download it to your console, pick it up, play it, delete it, whatever. And you can go back and re-download it again. It doesn't cost anything extra. So yeah, but they publicly, took it back and then said, hey, we made a mistake. We're not going to hike up the price. We learned our lesson. Halo Infinite Beta signups are available. So if you are a Halo fan, Infinite Beta, the next installment of Halo, they'll be having a beta test coming soon. I went ahead and signed up.
Of
course.
So last week when I talked about the Instacart layoffs, I actually went back and like read the story. It's only 10 employees that got laid off for the Instacarts, for the union stuff. Instacart has about 10,000 employees, and they lay off approximately 1,900. I guess for the entire year. There's only 10 employees that are actually unionized, and they all come out of Skokie, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't like hundreds of people that unionized and then got laid off.
Yeah. Okay.
Just 10. It still sucks, but
hey, good for you for correcting your what you're saying. So that's good. I would imagine. I wouldn't think that they would have laid off. I mean, aside from the unionization thing, but the layoff. Why would Instacart be laying off 1,900 people when? I mean, that's like fucking everybody's doing. Order your groceries, have it delivered, and stuff like that. Is it?
So, but that's the thing. I think more of the grocery stores are actually using their own employees now.
Yeah, we did a thing. Yeah, we bought the like year membership with Target for like $99.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to, they will just, whether it's in-store delivery or if they'll deliver it to the house or it pick up or go deliver or pick up or whatever.
Is there a reason why you chose Target or?
That's where we did the majority of our grocery shopping anyway. They're close to my house. There's a super Target, and then across the street from that is an Albertsons, and the prices at the Target more often than not are the same, if not lower than the Albertsons.
Okay.
I mean, and we'll go there for like, we'll go to Albertsons for like produce and stuff like that. But as far as like, cereal and crap like that, we'll just go to Target.
Because I'm just curious because the whole new Walmart Plus is supposed to be like a really awesome program.
What is Walmart Plus?
It's
same kind of thing.
So Walmart, I'll pull up the stuff, but like supposedly it adds like audio, like Amazon or whatever. But yeah, you get like a bunch of perks, but it's also a subscription. So
everything that I've seen regarding Walmart. Listen, dude, I avoid Walmart like the plague. Have for years. Going in there at any point in time is torture for me. It is not enjoyable, and so I just avoid it. I will pay the higher prices at Target so I don't have to deal with Walmart.
What are you not enjoying with Walmart?
Too big, too crowded.
4 lanes open at any given time.
Yeah, 4 lanes open. Like there's 50 lanes open, but there's only 4 open.
And this one's cash only, so you can't,
Yeah, there's no.
Who carries cash?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's one of those things. Like it's always busy, and even when it's like off hours, like it's been a while, but there were times when I would go at like 3 a.m. because I couldn't sleep and I just need to get crap done. And it was busy then because they didn't have enough people to work the amount of customers that were there. And it's a different, and you can go to listen, there are sites like People of Walmart for a reason.
I love it.
And here's the thing, dude. I have watched like little kids. I say little kids, like 3rd grader age kids. So 10, 9, 10 years old, have a goddamn fist fight in the toy aisle.
What?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Wow.
There was in one trip to Walmart. I saw
3 fights.
No, I saw a 7-foot albino guy. I saw a fist fight between 3 children in the toy aisle, like pick up like wild animals, like pick up like the game, like the Monopoly game that's still sealed and hurl it at somebody.
WWE. Your Walmart? I've never seen any of this happen.
What is
No.
going on
Been
at
in the
Walmart?
colony.
No. This wasn't at the.
This
This was actually at a Walmart in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grand Prairie too.
And there was a very large elderly person riding one of the scooters.
Yeehaw.
But that person was leaned back and had their hands like this because the person who was driving the cart was a little person standing in front of them on the deck and steering the
Get out
thing.
of here.
And that was the last time I went into a Walmart.
Those are the
Okay.
good old days.
Okay.
No, that was 2 years ago, dude. That was not like good old days. That was 2 years ago.
That's
Last
enjoying
week.
life right
Talking
there.
about. Yeah.
I don't go to Walmart
Just
anymore.
like, yeah.
No, for real. Just arms back behind his head,
Push.
and a little person standing on the deck of the Scooty
Are
scoot.
we talking
moving
little
it.
person like
With the
height
hands
challenged,
on the
or are
head.
we talking little person like maybe 5-6 years old?
No, height challenged, little person.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a circus here.
No, it was the most it was, and the guy that I saw and the 7-foot tall guy that was albino. It was and a fight and it was like, and I was with my buddy, and it was late. It was like 11 o'clock on like a Thursday, and I just looked at him like, I'm never coming back to Walmart again. I'll never go back to Walmart.
Yeah.
So
as Tom Segura said, the little people with the hands and the head. Yeah.
no, so yeah, I don't Walmart no more. My wife will go
Blame
to
you.
Walmart.
After that, I don't blame you. I'd be like,
don't.
I am done.
No, done with Walmart. I will go to Target. I'll pay
Well,
the tax.
I know our old buddy Javier, when he lived downtown Dallas, the Walmart by his house is like the highest crime-ridden Walmart, like in the nation, supposedly. And
I
they
don't
ended
doubt
up
it.
shutting it down.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
So real quick, the benefits of Walmart Plus now: free shipping with no minimum orders, free delivery from your store, including groceries, member pricing on fuel, mobile scan and go, and it says more to come. But I've heard about like them doing some type of video or audio included, kind of like a Netflix and a Spotify with that eventually. So I don't know. I was just curious. I mean, I know a lot of people like Justin. I understand your experiences, but there's a lot of guys who are just like, ugh, Walmart.
No, it's not because it's not
I
like
know.
a gross dirty or anything like that. It's that even when it wasn't like a crazy night like that, I've always had problems either finding something or finding help, or now I have to stand in line for 20 minutes because there's only 2 cashiers open, or or I have to go to even doing the self-serve thing. It's like, well, I have a case of beer and I can't get the person who's supposed to come over there and authorize me getting a case of beer
because they're not there somewhere.
because they're not there. So I have to stand there for 15 minutes. It's of the discounts that you get with that. It's it's a larger pain in the ass than I want to deal with.
Yeah, we don't like it because of the monopoly. Like we live within our 7-mile area, there's probably 9 Walmarts, and it just it's like, can we get some other option? Yeah, I don't know. We'd rather go to Target for the most part.
Sam's Club. No, I'm joking. It's the
Well,
same.
I mean, so real quick, hijack.
No
the
hijacks.
The Walmart that came in on 423 in Frisco, that was a huge deal. Like Frisco citizens didn't want that, and the city council was like, well, if they don't build there, they'll build at Little Elm, and then they get all the taxes from it, and it'll still be within earshot of where it's going to be built. And they're like, okay. I mean, if you think about it economically, it's going to bring in a lot of taxes for your city. So I mean, might as well.
Here's the thing. I've never been to a nice Walmart. It pulls just let's go talk people of Walmart for a second. It doesn't matter where you put it. You put it in Southlake, you can put it in the Beverly Hills, you could put it in Highland Park, you can put it wherever you want. And shithead people are going to go to Walmart. Doesn't matter.
Let's go hang out at the Walmart.
All right.
Yeah.
I've seen it. You can't undo it.
Even in the nicer Walmarts, for sure.
Yeah.
Even it doesn't matter where it is, they'll be there.
Ooh, this one's fancy. All right. So Hall of Famer and longtime home run king, Henry Louis Hank Aaron, or Hammerin' Hank. of the Atlanta Braves died Friday morning on the 22nd at the age of 86. Hank Aaron is widely considered the greatest baseball player of all time, famously breaking Babe Ruth's record of 714 in 1973. Aaron made his MLB debut when he was only 20, launching a 23-year career that would go down in the record books. He retired from playing baseball in 1976 and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown in 1982. He's also in the Atlanta Braves Hall of Fame, and the team retired his number 44 uniform. He
So
finished his career.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was going to say we lost Hammer and Hank, and we lost the actor that played him.
Yeah.
In a year.
Yeah.
Hank finished his career with an unreal 755 home runs, a record that lasted decades until Barry Bonds broke it in 2007. After that, I saw another piece of news kind of related to the Atlanta Braves. A petition online circulated to change the team name to the Hammers after Hammer and Hank, which I think it's cool. There was no indication that the name would be changed. The Braves have been around for more than 100 years, and I think the owner actually came out and said, like, we're always going to be the Atlanta Braves, because we've talked to the Native American community, and they're okay with the name, and with all the recent changes and stuff going on, progressive. The United States has been more progressive. They did say that, yeah, we're always going to be with the Atlanta Braves. We've talked, with everybody that we think this would affect, and
I get the Indians, like we talked about earlier.
Sure.
This year, last year. Okay, I will concede to that. I also believe that Brave is a honorable name. I don't think that that's any kind of negative connotation.
No, and that's what they were getting at. I think the owner had said, like, yeah, we talked to the Native American community, and I think they actually in the story, I want to say it was referenced the Trail of Tears that was actually referenced to, and
was that the start of it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Trail of Tears was from around the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma it started around there and then went to Oklahoma, driving the natives out of their homes. Thanks, Andrew Jackson. No, I totally agree with that, and I think that, I mean, the only thing I know of that the Braves ever changed was like during when they would do the tomahawk chop and the chant,
and they stopped doing that
and
a long time ago.
Yeah, like at least over a decade ago, easily. So yeah, if they want to keep the name, if they've talked to the natives in their community and they're cool with it, cool.
I was kind of thinking about this just actually this afternoon about, like, I remember we were kind of discussing about changing names. Like, what if we called them, like, the Washington Asians or the Washington African Americans? Wouldn't that just sound weird too, rather than
for that, I would say, why don't you find a tribe that was in the area and give them the honor of that name? I don't think that's a bad thing. Seminoles down in
they do that in
Florida.
They do it in Chicago with the hockey team, the Blackhawks. Yeah.
I think, for me, I understand where all this change is coming from. And as much as I kind of have my own problem with it, I feel like it's more disrespectful to completely do away with that. So let's take Aunt Jemima, for example. I understand that that's kind of a derogatory thing, but could we not find a representative of the Black community and put her on there and use that as, kind of honoring those people instead of taking them away and just vanishing that, what I feel is a culture thing. I don't know.
That one I would say is that and like Uncle Ben are a little different, because they may have been based on someone at some point in time, but they're fictional creations. They're a trademarked, just like Snap Crackle Pop with Rice Krispies. I mean, that's
those three jokers.
Yeah. So so that's
I'm still trying to find the Keebler Elves home.
So I mean, by changing it, could they find somebody? Sure. Did they decide not to? I don't know. It's a private company.
I think
do what
that
they want.
I mean, it's honorable what you're saying, Scott, but that's a slippery slope, because not everyone's going to be happy with whoever is ultimately selected. You're not going to make everybody happy. That's exactly.
So I think the fact that you take away something and totally do away with it. Example, the lady on Land O'Lakes. I didn't think that was anything derogatory, and I don't know, man. It's just hard for me. I feel like it's doing away with the culture, and you're erasing them. and it's not a bad thing.
Hypothetically speaking, if say there was somebody that stepped forward and said, "Hey, I'll be the new face of Uncle Ben," and it's a black man, I think there are going to be a lot of people that will be like okay with it. Like, all right, I think the majority of people will be extremely upset with it because as far as the black community go, and I'm not speaking for the black. This is going to sound terrible. I'm not speaking on behalf of like all African Americans.
You black, you say it.
But I think
you're starting to crack.
From an African American standpoint, I guarantee whoever this gentleman would be or woman, if it was Aunt Jemima, would immediately be, you're a sellout now. Now you're a sellout. Now you're catering to this.
Hey, that's exactly what happened
with everybody.
Catering to what they want. Yeah,
that's exactly what happened with Master P. Remember, he came out literally after they said Uncle Ben's gone, and the Master P's like, "Hey, now it's Uncle P's rice."
Yeah,
and immediately people called him a sellout.
Master P has a million other problems. I'm not even.
He sold out a long time ago.
No Limit Records. All right, Lawrence Harvey Ziegler.
No.
Yeah, Lawrence Harvey Ziegler, also known as Larry King, legendary talk show host, dies at the age of 87. King hosted Larry King Live on CNN for 25 years, interviewing presidential candidates, celebrities, athletes, movie stars, and everyday people. He retired in 2010 after taping more than 6,000 episodes of the show.
Larry King was a hell of an interview. Even though there were times when he, especially in his later years, he, when he just kind of did his own thing and he had his own like YouTube channel and stuff like that. And he wasn't necessarily, realize the guy's he was 86, 87. Yeah. And he's interviewing people in their 20s,
towards the end,
music stars and stuff like that.
Give a shit.
Yeah, he kind of lost a step, but still, give the man his due. He was a great interview.
I wish there was a statistic to see who's the next closest guy who interviewed as many people.
I would honestly venture to say it's probably Joe Rogan. As far as
he'll get there. He'll get there. Joe Rogan's at like 1,500 podcasts, so I'm sure if he keeps it up, he'll get there.
Yeah.
And that was, Larry King had a 5-night-a-week gig on CNN for interviewing people, and it was long form interviews. So,
So Pennsylvania social studies teacher, I don't care about saying this guy's name, was suspended for attending the Capitol riots / rally, whatever you want to call it. There's also a Richardson man who got his house raided by the FBI for his government involvement, or for his involvement in the riot. The way I found out about that one before I saw the news story was I was scrolling through Facebook. One of my friends that I used to go to high school with, I went to high school with, he lives in Richardson and saw the FBI across the street, and he was like, "What's going on over there?" Sure enough, that's the guy's house that was getting raided.
Yeah. Is that the one that threatened his family?
I don't think that was that guy.
Okay. I don't know who this was. This is another North Texas citizen who was at the Capitol. And he went home and he had his GoPro, and he said that he destroyed his it was his son that turned him in because their dad said basically threatened them and said, if you turn me in, you're a traitor, and you know what happens to traitors, we shoot them. So his 18-year-old son got on a horn and called and told him what was going on. Listen, dude, you as a grown adult, you want to go and do whatever it is you want to do. That's fine. You want to go to a rally, go to a rally. You want to go to a protest, go to a protest. You want to do some dumb shit like break windows or break into the Capitol and get caught. That's fine. Don't drag your family into this shit.
Yeah.
Tell your family if they, what kind of example is that? And I saw an interview with the kid this morning on Fox 4 News. And, they were like, well, what would you, if you could talk to your father, they asked if he had spoken to his father since the arrest, and they said no. And they said, if you could say something to him, what would you say? And he said, I would say, I'm sorry. I would do it again, but I'd like to say I'm sorry to my dad for causing this problem, but I would still do it. It's like,
that was like the girl whose mother was, same thing. She said after reporting her, she felt bad for turning her in, but
Yes,
you know.
didn't she delete that tweet like right after?
I think so. I don't really recall.
Internet's forever.
Yeah. Godiva is closing or selling all of its 128 stores in the United States due to declining mall traffic and COVID.
Yeah, I didn't know that was happening, but when you're a specialty vendor like that, when it's just like, what do you sell? Expensive chocolate. Eh, Why have a brick and mortar anymore? I mean, I miss having brick and mortar
They
stores,
should
but I
just
mean,
sell
at this
direct
point
to
in time,
consumer, right?
Well, they still have the online stuff.
yeah,
Oh, good.
it's just they're just closing the brick and mortars.
Yeah, in the United States. So
Yeah.
like Europe, they're still open there. But yeah.
Well, and the only place I've ever seen them, like you said, was malls. I've never
Yeah.
seen. It's not like I've ever was just driving down the street and was like, oh shit, a Godiva store.
Let me go and stop in. Yeah, I read the article.
It's
and
always
it did say that Godiva was going to try to get into, at the time before COVID, was trying to get into the cafe business, but it never panned out.
yeah, Godiva, and then what's the other one? Ghirardelli.
Yeah, Ghirardelli. Yeah,
Is
Yeah.
Godiva the one that had the
Lindor.
one that you can join a club and you just, I think it was Godiva, and then you get like a truffle on your birthday or whatever.
Ooh,
I think so.
Discounts.
Yeah,
Whichever the
don't
mall
remember.
one is, probably if it is Godiva, then that's what.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I know it was Godiva. No, I can't blame them. I mean, why spend that money on real estate when, I mean, malls were dying anyway. I mean, malls have been going downhill way before COVID happened, and I think COVID just kind of put the nail in a coffin for them.
yeah.
sad. I miss malls.
So
I think
yeah, for my I have a feel good story for the week.
no feel good stories.
that.
Boo.
Well, I have a tech story real quick.
Okay,
before
go
you,
for it.
Before
Go
you
for
jump out, tech/entertainment. So it came out today apparently that WWE, they have their own app. They have their own network. It's accessible through the computer. You can watch all of the old wrestling shows. They have new content. If you want to watch the pay-per-view that's coming up, it's $10 a month. You just on the, you have the app, you have all of that stuff. Apparently they are going to be shuttering their app, and all of that content and information is moving to Peacock.
That's what I read that earlier. NBC, right?
Peacock's having a hard time of getting new users because
they have 25 million users.
But they have, well, the whole thing is you have to get the pay version to watch The Office because they have.
But it's only $4.99 a month.
Yeah, but those things add up. Nickel and dime yourself to that.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I literally have, excuse me, YouTube TV. I have Netflix,
Disney Plus.
Yeah, those are the ones I pay for. I got Disney Plus for free through my cell phone provider this year.
Nice.
Which also includes Hulu and ESPN Plus, that bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Is that forever, or is that just a temporary thing?
They pay for 1 year free, and then it just goes into the normal thing. So eventually I'll be paying for that. My cousins got me covered with the HBO Max or whatever it is now. So basically I have almost, but I'm paying for them, so it's even actually more than the cable that I was having before.
Yeah,
we cut cable. We got
and I think I mentioned, I think we talked about this like a couple weeks or a couple months back, where I was like, dude, everything's a subscription. And I remember being pretty high strung about it, and yeah, it's ridiculous. Everything's a freaking subscription.
Cut the cable.
I'm like
Here's
JT.
new cable.
I'm like JT. I only pay for internet. I have Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, ESPN with the bundle with Disney Plus, and HBO. There's like 7 things I got to pay for every month in order to watch whatever show that I want to watch.
And if you,
JT? I'm sorry, we covered you, Justin. What do you have?
Geez, what do I have? I have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and Disney Plus, and WWE, which will now be going to Peacock.
So you have Peacock?
I will have Peacock once this goes away. once
gonna go.
WWE goes. I mean, the only reason I had WWE is because, and I need to get rid of it anyway, just because I haven't been watching a lot of the shows on there.
Hulk Hogan.
WWE's my guilty pleasure, just because it's so removed from what is actually going on in the world. It's ridiculous soap opera storylines
Yeah.
that have nothing to do with it, that really have nothing to do with, anything that's happening. If I need an escape from politics, I watch WWE, because it's all phony.
Yeah,
It's all
the
fake.
last time I watched was when Triple H married
Triple H. Yeah, that's the
daughter,
last one I remember
whatever.
watching.
And I was like, okay, I'm done.
No, I mean, it's one of those things. I'm not watching it because it's the best shit in the world.
I get it. It's literally like, something you can just kind of play in the background kind of deal.
But yeah, I will probably get Peacock and everything that comes along with Peacock, so I can do, well, it all depends on what's going to be within WWE, if they'll have the pay-per-views and shit or not. Anyway, but yeah, those are the things that I have. But it's funny because it's like, hey, I paid, hey, what did I do? I for internet and cable, I paid $200. Well, now I'm paying for internet, so that's about $100, and now I'm paying another $100 in subscriptions a month. So I didn't save any money.
Right.
How fast is your internet?
Well, I'm giving a generalization.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We have Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, we have Prime too.
Oh yeah,
Hulu, HBO Max, and I learned it's Cinemax and HBO. It's a combination. It's not like super duper HBO. It's HBO Cinemax.
So HBO Max includes. Well, there's nothing on Cinemax.
I would.
What
beg
are you
to differ.
talking about?
I have been watching a show called
Cinemax?
Warrior.
Yeah, he's been watching Red Shoe Diaries from the 90s, man.
Red Shoe
I
Diary.
don't even know what y'all are talking about.
I've been actually watching a show called Warrior. It's a period piece back 1870s when the American Railroad was being built, and it takes place in China, or not in Chinatown. I guess it wasn't a Chinatown back then, but in San Francisco.
I mean, just
and
town.
it's like the movie is like the Gangs of New York, but it's these Chinese gangs that are taking place during that time. It is amazing. It's an awesome show.
Oh,
by far.
To expand on that, there was the Netflix series called The Legend of Bruce Lee, which takes place in San Francisco. In that time. Don't watch it. It's terrible.
Terrible.
It's it's a dub and all that stuff, but
we have HBO Max. We have Apple TV. We've got HBO. Yeah, we got Disney Plus. So we got them all, and we're not saving money. So I'm going to be talking to the wife soon and say, hey, it's time to.
I was talking with the guys earlier today on the podcast, and
she's like, you don't need to talk to them anymore. I'm happy with my TV.
Nice.
They're gonna get
Anything
you
else?
one way or another.
I know.
And that's the whole thing. It's like, it was great when it was like two things. It was like, oh, Netflix, man, that's great, and Hulu
Amazon,
for TV
yeah.
stuff. This is really cool. I don't mind paying an extra little bit for so I can do this, and I'll still have my cable, and it's whatever.
Mhm.
And everybody was just like, no, fuck it, we'll go to this new model. And it's like, well,
yeah, because like,
Now I
and
don't
I
have a
was gonna
choice.
say,
money.
because like of all the rights, so like Netflix lost the Office, and I've been watching 30 Rock on Hulu. As like, and I'm sure it's just a matter of time before those rights and that deal ends, and that jumps back to Peacock, and it's just like, Paramount, that's CBS Plus or whatever, they're going to be called the Paramount Network now.
Celestial TV will go away.
And so it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how these other smaller ones, unless you have a lot of content like NBC and stuff, are going to be able to survive or create your own network or subscription outside of the network.
What's left on regular TV?
I don't
Home
know.
Shopping
I
Network?
don't have it anymore.
Yeah,
we still have cable
and local news.
We still have cable, and for the most part, in the background, I watch a lot of local news, and then just
TNT.
whatever happens to be on, TNT or TBS or whatever, because it's just whatever that
Hallmark Channel.
well, it's whatever that routine, like the show
IFC.
routine is. I mean, you remember like when you were a kid and it was like, oh well, I know that, you know, after school I can watch these shows in a row.
Yeah.
And that's what it is for me. It's just I don't have to think about or whatever. I just put the TV on and it's going to play a show.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying attention to it because it's background noise because I'm working on my computer or doing whatever.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. So my feel-good story, a community rallies around a Frisco woman terrorized by a neighbor. So in Frisco, there was a lady who, I guess one of her neighbors decided to get just
Become horrible.
just become horrible, spraying, you know, racial slurs on her driveway in black spray paint, allegedly cutting cable lines and stuff to her house. And so
yelling stuff in front, walking by and yelling
obscenities and racial slurs at her house while she's inside. And so the story reads from WFAA, where, you know, the lady was like, yeah, I was really in a dark place. I didn't want to leave my house because I was afraid. So the good thing is that the community around her, the other neighbors, have gone through and, you know, power washed her driveway, cleaned up the racial slurs as best they can because it is spray paint, and the kids have drawn, you know, like rainbows and hearts and stuff on the driveway. Somebody has paid for security cameras around her house, and
well, it was like because the cops said like, hey, just go stay in a hotel for the weekend.
Yeah,
over, and you're like,
they said little was done. Law enforcement was called 4 times.
And again, I mean, it's not necessarily that law enforcement. I mean, this is where you get. I mean, if the guy vandalized and there's proof that he vandalized, you know what I mean? Because that's the whole thing. If there's cameras and you caught him vandalizing, that's one thing. But if it's, you know, speculation, that's the thing. I mean, you can know 100% somebody did something, but if you don't have proof, the officers can't do anything.
Yeah,
and it's fucked up. But
in that case, like I said, it was on the edge of people's cameras, so you can really see stuff. So it was basically just character witness, you know, their word,
someone's word against someone else's word.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I'm glad that she got the help that she needed. I'm glad that the neighbors.
Well, it was odd because the backstory was that dude like supposedly broke his leg, and her son, the lady who was being harassed by that guy, was helping him while his leg was broken. You know, supposedly like mowing his lawn and other stuff. And then all of a sudden, when he got better, the kids stopped hanging out, and then this stuff started happening.
Well, shitty people are shitty people.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Anything else, guys, before we jump into the weekends?
I think
Covered
that's
everything
kind of
I
it for news.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Weekends then. Let's do this.
Should want to do this. Jump right in. All right.
I'll go. Let's see. Friday night we did not do much of anything. I told the story to you guys, but before we started recording, but I'll tell it now. I had to call non-emergency police for my neighborhood. There was a guy probably a block and a half away, must have gotten a new system in his car, and about 11 o'clock at night on Saturday decided to play his stereo very loud, lots and lots and lots of bass.
Let's test it. I got my Techmaster.
I mean, listen, dude, it's one of those things like, dude, I if you play it for a minute or two because you want to hear, because it's fucking cool and shit, fine. You know, that's whatever. But this was for about 25 minutes. So, and of course,
man, it's the best part. It's the best part coming up.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things like the track would change, and I was like, oh, fucking thank, and then boom, boom, like, fuck.
It would have been hilarious if it was like, if it was like regular radio and then an ad would come on.
But so yeah, so I called non-emergency on that. Saturday was my birthday, so thank you. So we just kind of hung out at the house and then went over to my sister's house and had pizza and played some board games, played a bunch of games on Jackbox, which is a lot of fun. Jackbox is fun.
Yeah.
I like Jackbox.
And then yeah, that was about it. And then yesterday just stayed at home, chilled. It's going over to my sister's house. There, we're wearing masks inside because she's a teacher, so she has a lot of exposure, and so she just wants to make sure that we're all safe and everything. And it gets annoying after a while, but you put up with it to do this, to be around the people that you love. So, that's what we did.
Okay. For me, let's see. Friday, I was off. No, I wasn't off. I don't know. I don't remember what we did on Friday.
Sounds like some good weed.
I worked.
Friday happened.
Okay. Yeah, I worked on Friday. Saturday, we recorded the podcast, the other podcast that we have, Scott and I, and it was a good episode. After that, we went to ELC and did the Mighty Man thing there. Was able to go around the circle and talk about SoulCon Challenge week 2, and then after that on Saturday came back. I think Shannon had some errands to go do. Oh, we went to brunch. Went to brunch at 5th Street Cafe. Met up with my friend Nick and his wife Madison, and yeah, we just had brunch. We had great brunch actually. It was really good. 5th Street Cafe in Frisco, downtown Frisco.
Downtown.
Yeah.
Was it at 5th Avenue?
No.
Wait, where's 5th Street? I'm trying to think because there's that.
It's by Sam Moon.
Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
No,
gotcha.
I don't think it's new. They've been there for a while.
Okay, so there was some new restaurant that opened by Sam Moon. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, it's under new management. But Fifth Street turns into Parkwood once you go south. But anyway, so after that, we came back here, took a family nap because Dad was tired, and
it's early in the morning on Saturdays, man.
Yeah. In the evening, we had another couple come by, Pearl and her husband Cornelius. Cornelius is a personal trainer, and so he helped us learn some rolling techniques for muscle fatigue and soreness. Help Shannon with squat techniques, and because she has some knee pain when trying to work out and stuff. So did that, and that was really it for Saturday. And
Yes.
I had to work on Saturday. I had a work release, so I had to work on Saturday night. But the release went well. It's Toyota IVR phone system stuff, so it went well. There was one hiccup, but not my hiccup. It was one hiccup, but yeah. Other than that, Sunday we got up, went to church at Grace Point, and had a great service there. Came back, had some lunch. I think took another family nap.
Naps.
And yeah, naps are fantastic.
They're pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 4 hours, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like my sleep bank. Then we had the family Zoom call at 7. Talked to my sister who started back shooting at HBO for Insecure. Started that again. So it's telling us about the rigmarole they have to go through COVID testing every day, and they have to wear double masks and face shields, and just it's nuts. But
Do you know if they're weaving that into the storyline at all?
I don't know that part. I'm not sure.
I'm wondering about that because it's one of those things, especially like for a lot of like TV shows that take place current day,
Yeah. So like This Is Us has weaved in COVID into their storyline.
And I've seen a lot of those law shows or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume that Insecure will do the same thing, but we'll see. Probably around August, I assume.
It'll be weird it would be. I don't know what would be weirder, seeing reruns and being like, oh yeah, these people have masks on their face, or knowing when it took place and be like, why the fuck don't they have the masks on? You know what I mean? Yeah. Why is that not part of their storyline?
I don't. And they're insecure, so wouldn't you wear a mask if you're insecure?
Oh, that was a pull. That you might. You know what? You should put that. That should be the joke for the next beginning of the next episode.
Yeah. They can't see me mouth. Fuck you.
What? All right, but that was my weekend.
Cool.
Oh, I got to.
Go ahead.
Sorry, there was another thing. I apparently I did a lot of snitching this weekend.
You know what they get?
Yeah, snitches get stitches. Bring it on. So I called on the neighbor for that thing. There was a friend of mine owns a restaurant. We've talked about it before.
Mhm.
And it was 2 or 3 years ago, I can't remember. The NRA had their convention in downtown Dallas.
Mhm.
And his restaurant, they had a thing, and they decided that during during that week, that a portion of their proceeds would go to organizations that support reasonable reasonable gun control. And that's what it said, and it said it on every single one of their receipts. He's the owner, and the co-owner and the silent partner and all that stuff all signed off on doing that. So, and they put it on their receipt. They weren't trying to hide it from anybody. They weren't trying to get famous or anything. This is, the NRA's here. The NRA is, I don't agree with a lot of the stances the NRA has taken. And this is coming from someone who is a Second Amendment supporter and someone that owns weapons myself. So for 2 years or so, he was getting bad Yelp reviews. Like, people would go on Yelp and just would say that they had shitty service and he doesn't support the Second Amendment, or would just say, I was going to go here, but I won't go here because he, 1-star review. I was going to go here, but they don't support the Second Amendment, so on and so forth. And every so often it creeps back up. And it's one of I believe he was on the news about it when he supported, when he put the thing on there, but it wasn't, he's like, I'm not saying people can't own guns. I'm saying that we need to have reasonable gun legislation is all, is what I'm saying. So certain people probably don't need to own guns, and we need to close whatever loopholes. It's his stance, which is a fine stance for me. I mean, you're going to get people that agree or disagree, and he is a business owner and decides to put his money where he wants it.
Sure.
Told his patrons about it, didn't try and do whatever. So he's gotten, he never got death threats, but it was more along the lines of, we're going to close your business down. No one will support you, blah, blah, blah. Well, that year he made record profits. So whatever. So he had, every so often he'll post like something that goes on Yelp. Like this past week, it was something, well, so-and-so, I wouldn't eat here because they don't, support the Second Amendment, and I'll never go in this, this dump ever, blah, 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 blah. And they usually respond with something funny. And so his was like, you know what? We made a New Year's resolution that we wouldn't engage with morons, but here I am breaking that resolution 20 days in or whatever. Funny, haha. He then has another guy who is on his Facebook feed say something to the effect of, hey man, you should really support the Second Amendment people. I'd hate for something bad to happen to you or your business.
I would turn that over to the cops immediately.
Sounds like
that was
threat.
done. So yeah, it's a very veiled threat.
Mm-hmm.
The guy has a very unique name. And if you do a Google search, his LinkedIn profile comes up. And it shows where he's currently working.
Yes.
And
did you email his employer?
I didn't email them. I went onto their Facebook page and sent them a message along with a screenshot of the threat, and said, hey, according to LinkedIn, this guy works for you. Thought you might want to know about this. And that's what I did. Here's the thing, dude. You can have differing opinions. I don't give a fuck. Don't threaten people. That's bullshit. Especially if you're going to stand behind a keyboard and do that shit. Yeah. Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you. You're a pussy. No, don't do that. Don't say that. I hope nothing happens to you or your business. What the fuck is that? Fuck you.
I'm in full agreement.
And I got a response
back. To my face.
So I got a response back from the company the next morning. And what they said is like, while we cannot
confirm nor deny.
While we can't confirm someone's employment status, I want you to know that we do take these matters seriously, and we will be looking into this. I don't know what's going to happen to the guy. I don't care what happens to the guy. But what the shit is that? You don't do this shit. This is stuff that you don't do.
And what was his reason for coming after the restaurant? Just
he was defending the Second Amendment people. And that's the whole thing, is that it's my friend put out there that this was, during this point of time, while the NRA is in town, we will be sending a portion of our proceeds to whatever. And for the last 2 or 3 years, I can't remember if it was 2017 or 2018 that the NRA had their convention in Dallas. But from that point on, he has had not necessarily threats like that. They have had some threats, but usually it's been the threat of, we're going to make sure you don't have business anymore. We're letting everybody we know not to go to your business. And this guy decided to take it a step further, and it was like, you should probably let these Second Amendment people, do what they want, because you don't
do stupid stuff, you get stupid results.
This truck must be huge.
It's probably the most jacked up truck you've ever seen.
And do stupid stuff, you get stupid results.
The tiniest.
Well, and it's one of those things, like, of course, I immediately went to the guy's Facebook profile and was like, and there are no pictures of him. It's all like the, don't tread on me, snake. The don't step on snake. Flag and shit like that. And it's like, so either this is a throwaway account or whatever. But I mean, listen, he had, when I looked at LinkedIn, it was a very specific non-normal name, and there was only one that came up, and the guy was local to Dallas. So listen, you don't bully people. Don't do that shit.
Yeah,
pussies. Anyway, sorry, that's the other thing I did this weekend.
Keyboard warriors, man, I hate them.
Yeah, so who wants to go next? Sorry, I thought that was an interesting thing that happened.
I did a lot of slumlording Saturday. Delivered a fridge because one fridge was going out in one of my apartments.
You give all the tenants COVID?
No. They were in their bedroom sleeping. I think they worked night shift or something.
So you went into their house, replaced a fridge, and they never came out?
Nope. I didn't even replace the fridge. What I did was I moved the old fridge because I think it was the freezer that wasn't working. And I was like, okay, well, I'll plug in the new one. You're going to let it cool down before you move your food over, But they were sleeping, so it didn't really matter. I didn't open their fridge or anything. So that was what we did first, and then we went to another apartment where one of the tenants moved out. We were refurbing it, so replaced carpet in one room that needed it with wood flooring. Fixed a couple sinks.
What's your least favorite to do as a slumlord?
I hate mowing their lawn.
Mowing
their lawn around the property.
Oh, is that my internet?
Because one of these bottle, and then like an oil bottle, and then like just like wrappers from like McDonald's and stuff, just trash everywhere. And I'm like, I don't understand. People just like throw it out the window or just standing outside and then just throw it on the ground, or you know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand people that do shit like that.
Nor do I.
It's just annoying. So, like I'm always hesitant to mow because like I don't want to find shit like that and have it, shoot out the side and then like, hit my leg or foot or whatever.
It's no fun. That actually happened to my grandfather. Went right to his knee.
Ugh.
Knee.
I know, because like I'll tell my brother, like for sure, is like when we're doing stuff, like always wear safety glasses because who knows in this situation. Yesterday.
What about hiring a company to do that stuff? Is it just not cost effective?
Yeah, because it's only 3 properties, so it's not, and there's 2 in Fort Worth and 1 in Irving, so it's not cost effective yet. So
yeah, because as soon as I bought a house, that was the first thing that I did. I was like, nope. First call, sign the mortgage, called the landscape company. Hey guys, I need you to mow my lawn forever because it is not an enjoyable task.
Yeah. So that's what I have at my house. I mean, the guy charges me. He said he's going up next year from $25 to $35 per mow.
Ooh, that's a big jump.
Yeah, and that's still like that's more than half or less than half of what other people charge.
Yeah.
And they come to my house, they're gone in 15 minutes versus me being like an hour and a half.
Exactly. That's the same thing here. The guy has been charging me $30 a week. In fact, we do it now. We just do it every 2 weeks because
that's what we do too.
It's like we'll have them come every 2 weeks because it's the summertime and I don't have good grass. So who cares? So every 2 weeks he'll come and do that shit. So fuck it.
That's because so originally he was the guy doing my sister's house in Carrollton. And then it's like, hey, just see if he'll come to my house. It's like, well, Colony's not really part of our area, but since your sister's a good customer, it's like, we'll just do yours too. I'm like, sweet. So it was like, yeah, $25 for every other month or every other week. So it's like, why not? Like, and that's what I'm trying to explain to my brothers. Like, at a point when we get a certain number of apartments, we need to look at this and be like, is it worth our time to go and fix every little thing, or we just hire someone? So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. Yesterday, watched football. Surprised that the Bills choked. I helped my brother. They're pregnant. They're due in March. So he picked up. This is kind of a funny story. So my uncle, with baby stuff, people try to get stuff for free, or, people have stuff left over and they, just give it to people. So my uncle, he had his kid, I guess late last year, or I think October-ish, November. And so his friends were like, oh yeah, our kids are older now. We don't need all this baby stuff. It's like, you can have it, except the catch was they had twins. So he had to take 2 of everything. So,
jeez.
So luckily for my brother at this time, my uncle had 2 cribs. So my brother came over and picked up, the other half of stuff for his kid. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. He's like, when I was visiting my uncle just before they had their kid, and I was like, yeah. I was like, why do you have 2 over there? Are y'all having twins? He's like, no. The person that gave us the stuff had twins. I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha.
Sell the other half.
Right.
Buy diapers.
So it wasn't really a chill weekend, but accomplished a lot of stuff.
Right on. My turn. My go. Me go.
Yeah, go for it.
Friday. Went to the doctor 7:00 in the morning, and was put on heart or blood pressure medicine. So yay for me.
You have high or low blood pressure?
High. So not too excited about that. I've been trying to, I don't know how well I've been trying to avoid getting on medicine. Started working out. I work out 5 days a week. I run, 1 5K a week, thinking that would be enough. But I think that's a change in my diet. So now there's a couple of things I'm a little concerned about. I don't want to be on medication, but I also want to enjoy the food I want to enjoy. So it's like, I don't know what to do there. Plus, I do have grandparents, high blood pressure, parents, high blood pressure. So it is hereditary.
Genetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Genetic, yeah. So can I change genetics by the food I eat? I'm sure I can, right? I mean, the conversation came up today. Was it genetics that your family eats chicken fried steak once a week?
How strong is your microwave?
How strong is my? Where are we going with that?
Just turn it on and sit on it.
Oh, okay.
Change your genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. What my dad had a heart attack 10 years ago, if not longer, and when it was one of those things, like the doctor was like, well, you have to change your diet and all that stuff, and he was like, well, I eat chicken fried steak. I was like, how often do you eat chicken fried steak? And he was like, I don't know, once a week. And I was like, who the fuck eats and my dad doesn't go to those places where they give like the little, it's not a small portion. It's the size of like a pizza platter.
Yeah, if you're not getting that size, then what's the point of eating chicken fried steak? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but you don't do it once a week. That's a sometimes meal. That's a sometimes treat.
The one of the former California governors would eat chicken fried steak every day. Something gray, Like he would have it delivered to his house for dinner
Gray
every
Davis?
day. Yeah. And I was like, but he's like a routine type of guy. But still, it's like, dude, how can you eat chicken fried steak every day and still be skinny?
I hate.
Well,
people
it was
like
the
that.
same thing.
Probably
Who
pills.
was it?
Bastard.
I know we've gotten off on a tangent, but somebody else used to. It was Hugh Hefner did that stuff. Like his meal routine. It was like he'd have Kentucky Fried Chicken twice a
Stay
week
strong.
or whatever, and it was like, I mean,
I think it's because of those little blue bombs.
Oh, it wasn't the
Maybe.
chicken fried steak that got him hard.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Anyway, continue with your weekend.
I would think he'd be like mashed potatoes,
All right.
applesauce.
Okay.
It's like soft stuff.
Because he was old as dirt.
Yeah.
Old as dirt. So Saturday, Anvil, Mighty Man kind of thing. I think Alan talked about that already. My notes here, it says nope to napping. So I took a nap. Yes, they rocked because Saturdays are early. Went to Raw Saturday night with Brian, his girlfriend, and Tammy. Had a, I'm not a big sushi guy, so I will eat sashimi.
Mhm.
Sashimi is not bad. And they have a bowl there, $25 for like 15 pieces of sashimi.
Mhm.
And I think that's a real good price because usually it's like you can spend $15 on 6 pieces of sushi.
Yes.
So had them take the octopus off, put more yellowtail on there. So enjoyed that.
Yellowtail.
Oh, yeah.
There's a joke there.
That's what my girlfriend. That's what I referred to my girlfriend back.
All right. There you go.
And then we
Is
came
she
back
Asian?
here.
Is she Asian, you racist? Just joking.
I was waiting for one of y'all to say
You're welcome.
something.
You're welcome.
That's jaundice.
Yes. Jaundice. I had a thing for girls with jaundice back in the day.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They couldn't run very fast.
All 4 of us came back here, had game night. We played. What did we play? We played Las Vegas, where you have the different tables and you got cash at each table and you roll the dice. Whoever has the highest number of dice on that table wins that money. Then we played cockroach poker. Love cockroach poker. And then that ended. After that, they left, and Tammy and I went to Tailgaters to watch Conor McGregor get the daylights knocked out of him
Mhm.
in the second round. A little sad to see that. I started liking him, but I don't know.
Was it a UFC match or a boxing match?
No, it was
UFC.
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 Okay, because
Yep.
I know that one kid challenged to a boxing match, right?
Oh, Jake Paul.
Yeah,
Jake Paul.
he's actually fighting Mayweather coming up in the next.
That's
couple
an
months.
exhibition match. So he's not really fighting.
Yeah,
No,
but
well, here's
Mayweather
the-
doesn't come out for less than like 40 million, though, dude.
Mayweather's gonna knock his ass out.
I hope,
I hope
so.
so.
I
hope so. Someone needs to knock out Jake Paul.
Yes.
He's a trash person.
So Sunday,
he-
was it church? So I'm running the boards there, monitors. So going around to all the singers, making sure that their levels are right. So I get there about 6:15 in the morning, and I leave around 1 in the afternoon. It's a long day at church,
Man.
but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, instead of watching the 3s and 4-year-olds, which I did for 14 years, this is a big change. It's kind of daunting because that board is rather big, but it is what it is. We met up with a couple people at Rotolo's afterwards. Had an interesting conversation with the Janelle, the Michelle. That's weird. It rhymes. And then Brian had the cauliflower pizza crust there. Not bad.
The one
Not
off of the
bad.
tollway, right?
Yep. Yeah. Enjoy that. Came home, picked up the wife. Her and I went to Handel's Ice Cream. Oh, I have never been to Handel's, and highly recommend it. Highly recommend Handel's. Yes. I forget I had the Buckeye ice cream, which is kind of like a chocolate ice cream, kind of with these little peanut butter chocolate balls inside of it. He said peanut butter chocolate balls. And then the other one was monkey something. It was vanilla ice cream, or I'm sorry, banana ice cream with little pieces of chocolate in it. And that was good too. So I found a new ice cream place. Wait a minute. I take all that back. We did not go get ice cream. This is SoulCon week 2. Did not eat ice cream. Just told to myself for whoever's listening.
Whoop.
Oop.
Let's just hold this episode for future.
Oh man, I didn't
We
even
will
pick
edit
up on
that
it. I did not even pick up on it.
Didn't even catch me.
Nope.
Came home, did some editing on the Mighty Anvil. I am kind of excited. This was the first week where the sound came out exactly the way I wanted it. So that's a big achievement after 5 weeks of figuring that out. I still got some learning to do with Alan on the post editing stuff, but for the most part, everybody sounded clear. So yeah, I was excited about that. After that, or during that, watched WandaVision. Someone let us down this week, and we can't talk about that now. I'm a little sad because it was a good week. They kind of, the first 2 weeks, I was like, what is going on? This week, oh yeah. Then finished up the season of Warrior on HBO Max. Man, the cinematography, the storyline, the direction, everything about that show is great. It's a great story about the Chinese during 1817 coming to America, and I would attribute it or kind of compare it to the gangs of New York, but it's in Chinatown in China back in the day. It is awesome. So after that, went to bed and woke up for Monday morning.
Nice.
Hooray.
Yay. That's the weekends.
All righty. I was going to take a break.
Let's take a break.
All
right, we'll see you in a minute. Peace. Whoop. And we're back. Thanks for having us back in your lives, weekenders.
I like being in y'all's lives.
So Scott wants to review a gadget with you. So let's do it.
So here we go. So I'm going to turn the camera down a little bit. As we discussed earlier, I am put on blood pressure medicine, and this is what I get to do daily.
Oh, you have a do you know the proper term for that, sir?
A cuff.
No.
I don't know.
That, sir, is a sphygmomanometer.
Ooh, fancy.
That is what is called a blood pressure cuff. That's the fancy name, or the correct medical term for that is a sphygmomanometer.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's hooked up to my phone, so I get to check that out and get to keep it. It records it, so I don't have to write everything down. So
what's the brand?
It is a Withings.
Oh, Withings. Okay, yeah, they make.
Yeah, they do a lot of health stuff.
Yeah,
right on. Never heard of them before until then, but
they also have a scale that can calculate your body fat.
We'll talk about BMI here later.
Yeah. Fake news.
So push the button, comes up with a little plus, and then it says BP, and then let's do this thing. So we push button, and since it's time to see if y'all put really high stress on me, I'll relax.
Probably.
I'm not gonna lie, as a kid, I used to go to those machines all the time.
Uncross your feet too.
Oh yeah, they're uncrossed. I got my toes crossed. Does that matter?
Nah.
How long?
Cross your fingers.
My toes are long. This is getting tight.
You're not supposed to put it around your neck, Scott.
Oh. It's not a shock collar.
He's got 3 spotters right here.
I can actually write my name with a pen with my toes.
Can you really?
That's weird.
That
sounds like he's been practicing.
I would say yes. I've been okay. 165 over 88. Oh my goodness! Got the little red dot here, and then it tells me my name at the end, and we can.
165 is high, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I got the real red light. It's not even yellow. It's up there. So
but the 88 is normal, I think.
Yeah.
Is it 88? I thought it was.
88's normal.
In the range.
So yeah, Withings. I give them. I like it. I like it a lot. It says my little name on the end of it. Well, it's calculating. It's actually sending it to the phone right now.
Price?
Nice.
$99.
Oh, not
That's
bad.
not bad.
Nah, not bad. And then show my name.
And the app is pretty easy to use.
It's easy to be used so far for one person, but I don't know how to switch from user to user.
Different profiles or whatever.
Yeah, the different profiles.
And does it? I'm assuming it integrates with Apple Health.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So normal blood pressure is 120 over 80. You are in stage 2 high blood pressure because you are 140 to 180 over 90 to 120. So that's you have both high systolic and diastolic pressures.
What was my last blood pressure? I'm kind of curious about this now.
So we got blood drawn. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'm hoping that it's cholesterol and I can actually do away. Dude, I eat 2 pounds of cheddar cheese a week.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. And the reason I know that'll do it is because at one point in time, when I was a kid, my dad had he had to do a battery of, just your normal tests and blood draws and stuff like that. And he forgot that he was supposed to do a fasting blood draw. And the night before he made, it's one of our favorite things that we don't eat it all the time, but it's one of the things that we loved as a kid, especially when it's cold. It is tomato cheese soup. So imagine tomato soup with very creamy cheese put into it with macaroni. It's absolutely delicious. And his cholesterol the next day, like he got the results from his cholesterol from the next day, and they were through the fucking roof. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, man, cheese.
Yeah. So
not that great.
One time, so my old company used to do, hey, if you sign up and do this biometric screening, they come in and they prick your finger, and tell you all these little things. It's like you get a 5% discount on your insurance. You don't have to do it, but if you do, the 5% discount. So I decided to kind of not necessarily fast, but I went kind of like on a juice cleanse with because I bought a Vitamix and I was like, fuck it, I got to use it other than for just making margaritas.
No, you don't.
So,
wait,
they don't.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Vitamix, that's the If Will It Blend channel. You could have done all sorts of cool shit with that. Exactly. You could have fed it a broom. You could have fed it like a pepper mill, and it would have ate that bastard up.
TI-87 calculator.
Yeah.
So I just did some veggies, and it's basically smoothies, healthy smoothies. But apparently, it wasn't enough because like when they did the finger prick, they're like, your readings are like so low, I can't get anything on this. And I'm like, is that bad? Does it mean I'm dying?
You're like, yeah, technically you should be dead.
Yeah.
We pricked your finger and gravy came out. You really need to change your diet.
And they were like, basically, I can't do anything with this. I'm like, oh, okay. But I technically took the test, right?
Do you still get the discount?
Yeah, I did.
Let's see if I can turn this down.
Oh, is that the app?
Yeah. Let's see. That didn't.
Okay.
65
just,
over 88.
165, 88.
Screenshot it, or if you care. Is there any personal information on there?
Nah.
It was my dick size, but do y'all care?
Was that in the red too?
It depends on who you're asking.
Yeah.
Hey-oh.
2 in the pink, 1 in the...
Okay, all right.
Family show.
Yeah, the last time I took my blood pressure, actually, it was 124 over 76.
I don't know. When I was in the hospital.
But like Scott, my mom has high blood pressure. My dad doesn't, but my mom does. So
they just
see what happens.
When I was in the hospital, they're just like, "Oh yeah, you're good." I'm like, okay. They didn't even give me numbers. We just like you're good. All right.
Yeah, I usually have to ask them. Like, what was the number? And they'll tell me, like, oh, okay. So I'm like, is that good? They're like, yeah.
Oh, really? They don't. Usually, when I go to the doctor for a checkup, they'll tell me. But yeah, when I was in the COVID, it was like, yeah, they're just like, you're good. I'm like, okay.
Oh, he's gonna share the screen. I was like, oh, we got 2 Scotts here.
Oh. Do this.
What are you doing? Why are we under your desk now?
He's trying to mute one of them. There we go.
Yeah, what were we
For those that just listened to the podcast, Scott, for some reason, has signed into our Zoom call with his phone as well.
No, what I think he's trying to do was going to share his screen from the phone so we can see the
results.
Yes.
Oh, I thought. I mean, he put us under the desk, and he had been talking about dick size, and I'm not in for that surprise. I'll quit this podcast in a minute.
Smiling as he looks into the camera.
And scene.
Things we have to.
Hey, there we go.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, things that we found
Very
out is
cool.
that Scott is a grower, not a shower. No, you're still on mute, dude.
Yeah, because if he
Well, he muted both.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
muted both.
You can unmute one of them.
No, unmute your.
Regular. Yeah, don't unmute your phone. Just unmute your regular camera setup.
and turn the volume down on the phone. That way, there's no sound that comes through it.
And make me a taco.
Fish taco.
They didn't want any.
What?
No, that's a cool. No, that's a cool thing that shows his blood. So for those
I like that you can put notes and then it automatically creates a log.
Yeah. So for those that are just listening, Scott was showing us the screen from the app on his phone for the blood pressure thing, and it's cool. It's very user friendly, clear and concise of the information that it was showing you. Gave you a place to put notes, so you can save the notes and you can be like, I did this while doing the podcast or whatever.
And
how many times a day do you have to do that?
Just once a day, but for the next month. And then when I go back, they want me to bring the tool that you had called it. I don't know.
Sphygmomanometer.
There we go.
Blood pressure cuff.
And they want me to bring it back so that they can kind of compare it to what readings they're getting,
Mm-hmm.
and then going from there.
Because I'm sure they use the old school one that has the bulb on the end.
Yep. Yeah, that's fun too, right?
Yeah, I saw a meme today for a thermometer. It's like, I'm glad we labeled these because on the case of the thermometer it said dog butt, because it looks exactly the same as the regular thermometer, except I guess they use that one to take the dog's temperature.
Sphygmomanometer.
Sphygmomanometer. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Oh, hang on. Check out what I can do now. I'm sorry. It took me a second to figure this out, but let me do this because it's a thing now. And now I'm not echoing and we can talk about it. But yes, definitely the top number is in the red. And for those watching along on YouTube, I do like the fact, and I have been taking notes along with, just woke up. I don't know what else I should put in there. Start of the day. And I'm trying to determine when I should take my blood pressure medicine because I don't want to take it before I go work out, right?
Right. Yeah, that would be bad.
So I'm thinking taking it before I go to bed along with my other supplements and then go to bed, wake up, and then should be good for the day.
From a pharmaceutical point of view, talk to your doctor about the supplements that you're taking because you don't want the supplements to counteract your blood pressure medicine. You know what I mean? You don't want to take blood pressure medicine that is, going to lower your blood pressure and then at the same time take a fucking pre-workout that's going to jack you all up. You know what I mean? So it's that kind,
Or the blue pill lowers your blood pressure.
The blue pill.
It's a vasodilator. It doesn't lower
a-
your blood pressure.
Correct.
I like vasodilators.
I've never taken it, so I don't know.
So what's the topic for the second half, guys?
Well, when you say vasodilator, I sorry, to go back to vasodilators, basically what I read for a long time was that bodybuilders would take it and go to the gym because it opens up their blood vessels so they can get more oxygen in the muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So as
the pre-workout,
drug with that action.
Before there was the little
And
blue
they'd have
pill,
raging
there was
boners when they're lifting weights.
No, it doesn't. So I mean, if you're turned on, yeah, it's going to give you wood. But if you're,
it doesn't just give you a straight boner.
No,
I mean, I don't
doesn't-
know.
no,
Okay.
it doesn't.
hopefully
you don't
straight
take the
and curved
pill.
left.
You don't take the pill and it just goes, oh, I'm going to go straight to the crotch. That's not how it works.
I don't know. But that's how they advertise it, though. It's for ED.
yes, it's for ED,
Yes.
but you have to
Yes.
have
Yeah.
You have to
something.
be,
You have to have stimulation.
yes.
But
You
the
need to be-
vasodilator, to me, it's kind of obvious just from the breakdown of the name that it opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're guys that you work out a lot and stuff. They used to use before that. There was a you can still get the supplement over the counter. It's
beta algemine.
no Yohimbe.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I remember that.
that's not good for you. You can overdose on that and kill you. Kill
Yes,
yourself.
yes, you can. But
Vitamin.
it used to be. It probably still is available by
Yeah.
prescription. But it was one of the. But that was what they used before Viagra and Cialis and all of those things came out on the market. It was Yohimbe.
My pre-workout that I take has beta algemine. I think I'm saying that right, but it's vasodilator too, and it makes you tingle, gives you that tingly feeling.
Yeah, I don't like the tingles. I don't like the tingly feeling.
No,
not really, because it makes my forehead itch and it's like hot, and I don't like it. So yeah, beta alanine. That's anytime I see that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking it. It depends on the amount, because if there's a lot of it in there, I'm like, ugh, this is gonna be terrible.
So I guess we're kind of in the second segment, and let me ask you a question then. How often do you guys do y'all do yearly checkups and draw blood and all that?
I used to before COVID.
Yeah, I haven't
like yearly, 6 months.
Annual.
I usually do it every year around my birthday.
Okay.
But I didn't last year, and I was because I was starting a new job, and so I was going to do it probably in March, but then of course COVID happened, so I didn't do it, and I haven't done it yet this year. But yeah, I go in once a year just to get all of the blood work stuff done, make sure everything's going good, and if I need to do anything different, or if it's time for the prostate exam or any of that kind of stuff, it's we'll just get it done. And yeah, it's one of those things that I was around so many older people in my life that didn't take care of themselves, that it was one of those that I didn't become necessarily a hypochondriac, but I'm like, okay, this is stuff that I have to do every year. I need to go to the doctor every year just to get checked for everything. We'll do, let's do the once over, let's do all of the stuff that we're supposed to do once a year. And then if I'm feeling bad, I'll go in and, check on stuff as well. Cause I've known too many people that have been like, I didn't go to the doctor for 3-4 years. And then I started getting really sick all of a sudden. And now I have cancer, or I have whatever. And they didn't look at warning signs that they were saying. I know a guy now that had, he's been diagnosed with stage 2 pancreatic cancer.
Oof.
Stage 2 is a lot better than stage 4.
Yeah.
But one of the things, it was like he kept talking about how he was losing weight. He was like, yeah, dude, I haven't, I've just, I've kind of started watching what I'm eating, and the pounds are just falling off of me. Well, he hadn't gone to the doctor in 2 years, and his wife told him to go to the doctor. And finally they were like, yeah, this is all related to, you're losing weight because of this. So, I mean, it's just the kind of a thing where you have to,
And how old are you?
Just turned 43.
JT, how old are you?
38.
Question mark?
Hey, calculator.
And then Alan, how old are you?
39.
30. Oh, almost 40.
Almost.
Yeah,
So how often do you go to the doctor?
I go once a year. Actually, my checkup is in 2 weeks. I think, 2 weeks. And it actually comes at a great time, because we're doing SoulCon and we're running, running once a week.
Fudge the numbers a little bit, huh?
It's like, it's just like cheating before. That's like before I go to the dentist, I'll
you floss
that
for
week
like a
before.
Week. Yeah, you floss it the week before, and you go to the dentist, and they're like, "Well, you're doing a great job." You're like, "Yes, I am."
Okay, so next question: are all your doctors male or female?
My doctor's male, but the nurse practitioner's been the one that's seeing me. She's female.
Currently, it's my cousin who's female.
My doctor is, so I go to a place that has kind of a floating round of doctors. I don't have a specific PCP. And they're both male and female, and I've been seen by both.
My next question, and
My
that was
doctor's my neighbor. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
this one. That was kind of a leading question. So the next question is, my doctor's female, and so there is a frontal exam, right, for testicular cancer. Do you? That's a hard. I don't. Well, she didn't do it this time. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that or a male doctor giving me the exam.
The time that I've had that done, it was my PCP that did it, and he's male. When I went to the specialist, because Shannon and I are trying to get pregnant and all that stuff, when I went to the specialist, it was also a male doctor that did the whole.
The last time that was before I switched over to my cousin, but it was a female, and of course the room was like super cold.
It's always cold.
And it's like, and I'm just like, okay.
And then it's your cousin too.
There it is. No, my cousin, when she became my primary care, she was just like, just check.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Just check him yourself. Yes, I do every day.
No, I can't remember. I've had both male and female do it, and it's not that big a deal. But I also worked in a hospital, and after after a while, when doctors are in doctor mode, give a fuck, dude.
But that's
the other. But I don't.
No, but I'm like Justin. I mean, by the time, the way I see it, it's like this is a medical procedure that they're doing, so it's not like it's not fun.
Here's the thing, dude. It's the turn your head and cough thing. I mean, it doesn't last but 5 seconds.
So the fondling of my nuts is uncommon.
No, fondling.
It's like friends. Well, you measure. You go up one leg, cup it over.
Well, no. So that's what my doctor did. But I was telling him that, like, there's like TMI. We're all guys here.
There's a lump.
I told him. I was telling my doctor one time that was like, there's this little small, like, I don't know what it is. And so while I was, when I went in for my checkup, he felt around and he was like, it's nothing to worry about.
Ingrown hair.
He said it's probably a calcium deposit or something, I think is what if I remember. It was years ago. But since then it hasn't gotten any bigger or anything like that.
That was years ago, motherfucker.
No,
sorry, Shannon.
No, having worked with doctors and nurses for so long, the last thing they're worried about is any of that. You're embarrassed, they could care less.
Right.
I think if you were erect, that would be
that would be kind of weird.
That's kind of what I'm scared of.
Why would you be scared of that?
Of me getting erect while the lady's checking for ball cancer?
If she stuck her finger in your butt and then you become erect.
That happens though.
Listen, I don't think that. Okay, well. It's a medical procedure to me at that point. And if there was any notion or any possibility, it goes out the window as soon as. And
it's so quick that it's just. I mean, I haven't got to the age where they do the finger thing yet, but the ball check, it's just sort of like, all right, turn your head, cough, okay.
All I'm going to tell her when it happens is, yep, it still works.
But I remember a long time ago, was it Tom Arnold in one of his stand-ups? He was like, when you go in, you don't go full erect. You try to go kind of half erect.
No one goes full.
So it's kind of, just so you're hoping that, it looks bigger than when it's like.
Need to fluff a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
No. Terrible.
No, they don't.
I'm sure doctors can have stories about that. And they go, this guy.
Here's the thing, dude.
Now, if they called someone else into the room.
Here's the thing. Having worked in hospitals, you don't want to know what's said at nurses' station. This is some of the fucking weirdest shit you've ever heard. But it's just doing a regular exam. They're just doing their job. They ain't worried about nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all in your head.
Well, hopefully at that point.
This is our PSA segment.
Yeah. All right.
Guys,
let's spin that wheel.
Checked annually.
Let's spin that wheel.
Uh-oh. See, I'm practicing something new, guys. Bear with me. We're going to have to go here and here and here. Yeah, so I've changed laptops. I think JT and I were discussing earlier, my company is starting to monitor what goes on the work laptops. And for up until this point, I've been using that with the 2 monitors. It's been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're using the new Apple that we use for podcasting. And yeah, so I'm having to get used to it. But here we go, guys. Y'all ready? Oh, hey, Alan, you want to bring us in?
Yeah, so if you have any questions for the wheel, please add them to our YouTube channel in the comments, or you can email us at theweekenda2z@gmail.com. And if your question gets picked, we'll go ahead and give you a shout out as well.
I believe that we're on YouTube. We're up a couple of subscribers, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's because of the Mighty Anvil.
Do you shout us out on the Mighty
Oh,
Anvil?
absolutely.
Well, yeah, we did it.
Nice.
We did it a few times.
It's like 2 different audiences, right?
Oh, vastly 2 different.
Yeah,
audiences.
vastly different audiences. But at the same time, I've told people that I've told people that this podcast is just different because we don't really have a flow that we go through, and at the same time, we can talk about like movies and fun stuff, movies and TV.
Yeah,
And
and
video
prostates.
games.
Yeah.
Less Jesus, more entertainment.
Yes. The other one's more Jesus.
Less entertainment.
Hopefully it's entertaining. We've, actually in the 4 episodes, we've reached 350 listens.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
And your church.
Church, we've actually got people in the UK listening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
wow.
Mexico.
In Mexico, we've got people, all over the United States as well. So not just
Nice.
Mexico.
Well, to those in Mexico, I say hola, and to those in the UK, I say pit pit.
Pit. Interesting.
I don't know. That's probably racist.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go, guys. Week. That was such a week.
Oh, Brotex Williams, your question has been called out.
Finally, we got
If
there, huh?
you had the power to change anything in or about the world, what would it be?
Okay, so we need to set some parameters here.
Yeah, because we can't have an island that banishes all
Yeah,
pedophiles.
So no. So do we, so parameter is, do we want to take this seriously or do we want to take this silly? I vote for silly.
I go for silly. It's in my username.
I'm good with silly. I'm good with either way. That's what
Let's
she
do
said.
silly.
Let's do silly. Okay, if you had the power to change anything in or about the world, what would it be? I would make Disney World here in Texas, so that with all of the same, if you could just pick it up and then move it to here, that's what I would want.
Interesting enough, probably 10 years ago, there was land allotted to a Disney World in Frisco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That was been rumors for like decades.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would just have Disney World closer, so I didn't have to move to Florida and deal with all of the humidity and heat and stuff. I mean, listen, it gets hot in Texas, but it's very different. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would move Disney World to Texas.
JT.
I would bring back the Concorde for international travel.
Good one.
Hmm.
I like that. Supersonic can
Yeah.
be in Paris in what, 3-4 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever flown on the Concorde?
No, I mean it wasn't around, I guess, long enough, and I was never in
Yeah.
that tax bracket,
Yeah. Just curious, because I would love to fly on the Concorde.
Yeah, it just seems like a super cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like
Were those
and
planes reliable?
I don't know.
I thought a couple of them crashed.
But kind of like Inception, where they were sleeping in the cone of the 747, like that. That's like something I kind of want to do now. I don't know if I could ever afford that, but in that private little area underneath the cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Alan, how about you?
I'm still thinking. I don't know.
For me, I think that I would make the clouds cotton candy. I would change some of the trees to be some kind of licorice trees.
Whatever it is, I think I see.
Comes a
Tootsie
Tootsie Roll
Roll
to me.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm surprised you guys haven't said anything about having an Autobahn here.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh. We
I
gave
was
Alan
just
an
thinking
idea.
that. I was just thinking that.
I mean, I don't
I
care
think
about
I
the
do.
I don't care about the Nürburgring. I just want to drive fast.
Austin, the tollway that goes on the east side of Austin.
Yeah, it's kind of short though.
Nah, so she said, but it gets
I
by.
mean, I
So
usually
it's
do
in
that
the
on the bush.
this guy Scott wants to live in Candyland.
I do want to live in Candyland. Kind of on the same theme of just having Disney here in Texas, I would love to have Willy Wonka. I actually think that there should be a Willy Wonka land.
Okay, yeah, where you actually get to see the candy made and all that.
Yeah.
Or you wish him into real life.
No, I think that I actually, you know what? Yeah, I think that'd be awesome to actually have like a Willy, like an actual Willy Wonka chocolate factory to where, and they actually have like a golden. I mean, I'm sure they did this at some point. Actually, have like a golden ticket contest, and like 6 people get to go to the
Well,
chocolate.
because I mean, because it
You
being
get like a candy named after you or something. I think that'd be awesome.
the way it's a fantasy. Where like
Yeah.
the chocolate waterfalls mix the cocoa water is like real life they don't have that. But if they had something cool and fantastical like that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And for the time being, I would be all right with going to Willy Wonka Candy Factory. They actually have a Willy Wonka Candy Factory.
Mm-hmm. Where's it at?
I'm not sure. I will have that information for us next week. But yes,
Okay.
The Gobstoppers, they do have everlasting Gobstoppers.
Yeah.
They got, I think they do the runts as well.
Mm-hmm.
They got a line of candy. I don't know where it is, but man, and the job I used to have, I've been to a couple different factories where they made candy bars. Actually, there was one up in Michigan.
Well, what about Hershey, Pennsylvania? Is that a theme park or is that a?
It's a Six Flags, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hershey. Yeah, there's Hershey. The Hershey theme park is in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Okay, I was kind of thinking it was a theme park / like tour type deal or something.
Alan,
I'll go with the Autobahn. Yeah, I'll go with the Autobahn. Yeah.
Where would you start it, and where would it end?
Yeah, I think here to Austin. Like I know they've talked about it too, like actually having an Autobahn or. Yeah, I don't know.
I say that you hit, from DFW down to you hit Austin, San Antonio, and then over to Houston. You hit those big kind of central cities.
That's what the bullet train's going to do.
Did that ever get off the ground? Did they ever do anything? Is it actually under production?
It is not under construction yet. Technically, they're still finishing off all of the paperwork. But yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, they've got all the green lights.
That's one thing I've never done, because I know you can take a train from like Dallas Fort Worth down to Austin, and I've never done it. It's like
you can?
Yeah, it's like you can do Amtrak, and it's like a 6 or 7 hour train ride, something like that, because it stops at different places to do stuff. But I mean, if I were going down there one way, like if I had bought a car in Austin or whatever, I'd totally take the train down there and do that. Because flying, I've flown from Austin to DFW once, and it's very convenient to do that, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. But it sucks having to sit in the airport for 3 hours not moving anywhere.
That's like less. I mean, you can drive from Austin to Dallas.
Yeah, it takes about the same amount of time.
It is.
Probably not as stressful though. Being all that traffic and then construction on 35 is just relentless every day.
Ugh.
No, my wife was going to school down in Austin a few years ago. She was down there for about 6 months, and so when we took her down there, we just drove her car down there, and I took a flight back, and it was. Yeah, it sucked. It wasn't fun. It was, I mean, just sitting in the airport and waiting. I mean, it was convenient, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
it's
what's the
like
flight like 45 minutes? By the time you hit altitude, you're heading right back down.
About that. Yeah, it was like 45 minutes or
it's
an hour.
it's
I moved
very
real
similar
quick.
with Houston to Dallas. So like a buddy of mine, every time he does that, he takes the business version of Megabus.
Mm-hmm.
So like you get like a nice captain's chair, but you get like a little desktop and you get Wi-Fi and outlets. So like he's like, I can actually work almost the whole time down there. Versus you go to the airport, you wait, you get up there, and your flight's like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And you come down, and you got to get all your stuff and then go. By the time it's almost not almost the same amount of time, but you can be at least more productive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been to Houston. I've only had to do a layover in Houston. So
I still wish. I mean, they're doing the Japanese style passenger bullet train. So, we kind of discussed this before. It's like I wish it was more like a ferry type where you drive on, go
Yeah.
down, and then you drive off. But
Yeah.
oh well.
Justin, what was yours?
moving Disneyland.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
Disney
yeah,
World.
yeah.
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 All right, guys, let's wrap it up.
All
I don't
right.
know
So
what that
if you
means.
have any questions or comments, please feel free to email us at theweekenda2z@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facegram and Instant Book at A to Z Weekend. Past that, anchor.fm/A to Z Weekend, where you will find all 11 locations for our podcast, including Spotify.
All right, guys. We will see you on the flip flop.
Wow.
Olive juice.
Welcome to the New World Order. I love you.
This New World Order.